All right, we're in a planned demo here for Gryphon. First time being able to hear a full Gryphon system. MSB stack.
Sure. So you take that guy.
Lots of room treatments on all the sides. They don't look like ASC tube traps because of the
Hello, my name is Joseph Cowley. Welcome to the Gryphon Audio Designs Reference System Showroom. I have a showroom in West Hollywood. My company is called Joseph Cowley Systems Design. I have a demo room there with Gryphon equipment. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I want to get right to playing music, so I'm going to be a quick scenario of what you're going to hear, what the equipment is that we're using. We're using the Gryphon Trident 2 loudspeakers. That's their next to their top of the line Kodos. They're active in the bass. These subwoofers are being driven by a 500 watt power amplifier. The mid-range and ribbon tweeter, which are 96 dB efficiency, are going to be driven by our product of the year 2022 new Apex amplifier. 467 pounds, 215 watts, Class A. It doubles at 4, it doubles again at 2, and then we go to 1. We can weld with that, right, Runa?
We're going to do that.
A lot of current,
the demonstration.
A lot of current.
Well,
But the magic, transparency, and beauty of that amplifier is not wasted on this mid-range and tweeter. It's significant. When you listen to the system, that amplifier is extraordinarily beautiful in terms of the way it sounds for a solid-state amplifier. We're using the Gryphon Commander preamplifier, which was also product of the year as a preamp for 2022. It's being plugged into the Commander power supply. We're using the Legato Phono preamp. The Legato is also using the Commander power supply for its power. We're using the Gryphon Ethos CD player. It's designed very much like a turntable. It's an extraordinary CD player. It's top loading. You've got a clamp like on a turntable. We use a level. We can balance it like a turntable. And it has a built-in DAC, which is extraordinary. This CD player, because of the Gryphon DAC and because of the transport they use, is probably the best CD player I've ever heard. And you're going to hear streaming, CD, and vinyl during this demo. And I think it'll be pretty seamless. You'll be pretty surprised. And I know all of us that love vinyl, it's great, but a lot of us do CDs and a lot of us do streaming. I'm using a MSB reference DAC with their new digital director, and that's connected to the INEOS statement streamer server using the INEOS Phoenix network switch. All the cabling in this system is Vanta, Gryphon Vanta cabling. Runa, just a second, would you talk a little bit about the Gryphon cabling? What makes it unique? Because you were part of the design team.
Yes, I can. We are using a special metallurgy, which is called G7 silver and gold.
Excuse me. Runa Skoff from Gryphon in Denmark is here as a special guest. And Anthony Chiarella, the United States distributor for Gryphon.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry.
No, not a problem. The cables there are very special. We are using a special alloy called G7 silver gold, which is actually natural in the ground, but it is in very rare quantities. So we make it in an artificial way, so to speak. But this type of silver gold alloy means that when you extrude silver, you will have a lot of cracks in it, which is very bad for signal processing. So what we do is that we infuse gold into all those cracks. So a Vanta cable conductor consists of 9.54% gold, which means that you have zero corrosion and oxidation of the conductor. You can leave it out in the open for 10 years and it will still be shiny. And it will not be brittle. We are also using the exact same geometry in all the cables to maintain the integrity of the signal. So we're just working with different wire gauges on the interconnects and the speaker cables and the power cords. But it is the same geometry we are using, except for the digital cables. That's a different story, because then you need to have a different twist to eliminate the cross section. So that's what we're doing at Gryphon. And we are also using Vanta internally in the Commander preamp and in the Apex power amp. So all Apex and Commanders, they are supplied with 2 Vanta power cords. We don't want people to mess around with their power cords. We only want them to use the best. So that's it.
And the last part of this is using for vinyl, we'll be using the Bergman air-bearing Galder signature turntable with the 80-pound platter. It has the Odin air-bearing linear tracking tone arm and a Koetsu Jade phono cartridge. This stand and the amp stand are made by Gryphon. It's the Gryphon stand art. Remarkable. I sell Artisania, I sell HRS, and frankly, the sound of the equipment on this stand is so transparent and neutral, the stand does not interfere at all with what you're hearing. Anyway, let's get started. I'm going to play a solo instrument, a remarkable young man named Xander Zahn. He's playing electric bass. He pedals it like an electric guitar, and it'll give you a great introduction to a single instrument on the Gryphon system. This will be streamed. Okay, so let's expand the musical palette. Gonna go to vinyl. I'm gonna play a recording by the Sonny Clark Memorial Quartet. It's a track called Voodoo. I believe it was recorded in Paris in '86.
Hold on,
Yep.
yeah.
And you really have to listen. The individual instruments in this quartet are so well defined and so real and in the room that I think you're gonna have a great experience with Sonny Clark. Takes a second to move that 80-pound platter on air. We'll get up to speed in a second. switch things up now. We're gonna move over to the Ethos CD player, because it's time to listen to some voices. We have a recording, a wonderful recording. Rilton Venu, Swedish a cappella group. There are no instruments on this track. You will want to believe there are instruments on this track. There are no instruments. This is an a cappella group that is just spectacular, and I hope you enjoy it. So now let's listen to a classical selection from the Dvorak New World Symphony, the Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra. This is a wonderful Becker recording. And we'll go back to vinyl. which you can not hear. That pump is pretty quiet. So I think we're gonna play the last selection, and I think it's totally appropriate that it's rock and roll, and it's loud. The band is T.H.E. You're gonna give me a hand. I will give you this. Oh, they're missing the best part. So tricky one, such a that's the problem. Thank you so much for coming. Put on the lights. The whole idea is that there should be nothing, any type of music that you can't listen to on your system, and that's what we're trying to demonstrate here. Like I said before, my business card is over there. I'm Joseph Calley. We have a Gryphon showroom at the Pacific Design Center, and I can demo a lot of their products for you. They make a lot of equipment other than this. And Anthony Chiarella's outside. If you have technical questions for the system, he's more than happy to answer them for you. And thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Can I ask you a question? The Dvorak?
Yes.
How old was that recording? You know when?
Not too hot.
I believe it's 1960.
Okay, so it's all analog.
Oh, yeah.
There's no
It's all-
digital domain or
all
anything?
No, they
Okay.
have some other,
Interesting.
and there are some new releases of it on something corners and stuff like that the pressings are not as good. That's an original. The one, at least the one that I play.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Sure.
I don't think my mini keyboard weighs as much as this.
A lot of heat sink.
It is a lot.
Yeah, we ran out of time, but when I was at the factory about 6 months ago.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I didn't know. Obviously, you have the.
Very good connection stereo.
Is there a total price tag for the system?
I'm going to say with all the MSB digital stuff and the racks and the cables and the turntable, it's about $700,000.
Okay. And room treatments probably had another.
I'm not even thinking of the rooms.
Yeah,
and
that's
that
a lot
might
in
be
there.
Another $30,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because the room, when they started this, the room on Wednesday, this was a hair salon.
So yeah, good job on that.
Floors, nothing on the walls.
So what costs more, the system or the car?
Oh, the system is much more. The system is like figure 3 of those.
Okay. All right. Okay, guys, you can make the decision. 3 of these or the system.